Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cappy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the Judgment card. And I actually feel like for you guys, this is a shift in consciousness, right? I don't know why, but there's something that feels like this week you're going to feel like you've been plugged into the mains, right? You understand that change is coming. You understand that change is needed. You understand that there is a change that you are wanting or needing to make in your life. But this is you being really plugged into the mains, right? This is you kind of, I almost feel like this is going to be a download, maybe even an upload of some sort, right? Everyone always talks about like we're downloading information from the universe. What's to say that you can't upload something to the universe either and shape the source code of reality into what you choose it to be? This would be a very good week for you to think about manifesting. If you're into that kind of thing, this could be a very powerful week for it. If you are, so yeah, there's definitely a shift or a change in consciousness of some sort this week. And I kind of feel like this is you really taking stock of the life that you've lived up until this point. If you are, if you're celebrating your birthday this week, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope that you have an amazing solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this next 12 months ahead to have in it for you. All right. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, if you should so choose, and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you have the Ace of Pentacles, right? So that change is coming, right? You can feel it. There's a shift here in consciousness and possibly a shift on the material plane as well. When it comes to your actions and options, for some of you, this is really about getting something that you'd promised yourself you were going to do off the ground. This is a week where you embark on a new endeavor, whether it's learning the first 3 lines of a new language, whether it is finally picking up that book that you said you were going to read. Maybe it's that you're now actually looking into starting that business that you've always wanted to do. This suggests, and because you've got the Judgment card here, there's an element of this. It's like something is like a long time coming, so that you're taking the first like official real world steps this week, but it's been a long time getting to this point, and there's a shift in consciousness. There's something this week where it's like something in you just wakes up and says, okay, bam, right? You know what? I'm going to make this happen. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 2 of Swords. Pay attention to your dreams this week, right? And pay attention to your gut hunches, and also pay attention to the slips that people make this week. That's not to say like, oh, somebody's out to get you or anything like that. The reason I say this, the 2 of Swords tends to have a very psychic energy around it. The Judgment card in this deck is called the Sleepers, which is all to do with our ancestors. It's all to do with the very deep energies of the world and of our lifescapes and even our lineage, right? And so I see these two coupled together. And there's something about the conversations this week. If you're having a conversation with something and they say something completely out of character, or they say something and they're like, oh, I don't even know why I just said that. What I meant to say was this. Pay attention to those this week, because those slips, those Freudian slips, those moments where, and I'm sure you've all witnessed, like, I just got goosebumps. There are moments like, if you've got kids in the family, sometimes they'll just turn around and say some really profound shit. And you're like, wait, what? And then you ask them and they're like, meh. And they just go off back to playing or doing whatever they're doing. Pay attention to those snippets of conversation this week, because those snippets of conversation are going to be very telling for what shows up for you from here on in. For those of you that work for somebody else, This is a big change in how you dedicate yourself to your work, and more importantly, what you expect from it. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, employers, etc., this is really nice because there's a gut hunch this week that you may follow that a lot of, sorry, I've got something in my eye, ow, that a lot of people might not necessarily get or understand. But I will say this to you as well. Whatever conversations you have with employees and or clients are also going to be telling. This whole week is a week to have your eyes and ears open, right? Obviously you can't walk around completely on the alert all the time, because then everyone will be like, it's either coffee or drugs. Is it drugs? Right, so you can't, like, you know, be wired and on edge. But this is definitely a week. Be more intentional about being more present, all right, and listening to the feelings, the signs, the synchronicities, the symbols. There's going to be a lot this week. And like I said, especially your dreams, right? Pay attention to the dreams this week. And your gut hunches, right? When it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working, one way that this might show up for you is you may get a really deep urge to really start building that intuition, to really start working with spiritual energies. Maybe you start to take it more seriously. Maybe you start saying, okay, you know what, I've got this gift, I want to develop it now. Which, you know, it's not unheard of for Capricorns, but you guys are so grounded in the material, and that's not a bad thing, right? You're so grounded in the material and the practical that sometimes when the intuition comes in, you're a bit like, you know, can we quantify this? Can we get a print out to see if it, you know? And you can't always do that. Sometimes you really do have to take that sort of trust gut, right? You have to trust the gut. For your love and relations this week, you've got the Hierophant card, which, although it is Taurus ruled, this card can and very often does speak to Capricorn energy. You've got this in the love part of your reading, right? So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in marriages, long-term commitments, there's a shift coming. Not a bad one. This actually feels like it will be a very good one. This may be a moment at which you and your partner finally feel like, you know what, I can breathe. Like the relationship has, and we've seen this for a while now, you guys have turned a corner, but there's something this week that shows the relationship, the partnership, the marriage to be stronger than it's ever been. And this is really, really nice, because this suggests to me that now you really start to build, right? Whether that's money, resources, the home, it's like there's just this weight lifted this week, and you're kind of like, yes, you know what, now it's full steam ahead. For those of you that are single, pay attention to who shows up this week. Now, I've said this to you before, and I do feel like it will be the case for a while. I kind of get this feeling that over the first quarter of 2022, somebody's going to show up for you. And this is likely to be someone in a position of authority, someone whose title is their job, someone, you know, doctor, lawyer, professor, lecturer, teacher, what really speaks to me with that Hierophant card, though, is it's like they show up in the first quarter of the year, but there's some delay in you guys actually being able to get it together. So it's just kind of this really slow process of getting to know each other, which, you know, suits you guys down to the ground and actually could be great. For your money and materials, you have your card, the Devil card. So I want to say to you that from this week onwards, finances, money, resources will start to improve. Don't get obsessed with it, right? You've got so much other good stuff happening here. You've got so much inner world stuff starting to wake up for you that it's really, really important for you to, I almost want to say, like, It's important for you not to allow the real world stuff to interfere with the spiritual stuff, right? You're going to have to walk both of these paths simultaneously at the moment. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, all the parts of the body that are ruled by you, your knees, your bones in particular, with that Judgment card there as well. Any of you, I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but any of you that have had chronic illnesses and or situations, you're likely to feel some sort of relief this week, but it may come as a result of a healing crisis. All right. And then finally, when it comes to the home sector, especially with that Two of Swords, you can have whoever you want in your home. My advice this week: anybody that tries to invite themselves to the home, it's a no from me. All right, period. When it comes to your full moon message, which is in your opposite sign of Cancer, you got the gate 8 and contribution, right? So technically this is in your 7th house, especially for those of you that are ascendant Capricorns, which is all to do with relationships, partnerships, marriages, contracts of any sort. And it's also, as well, the 7th house is also open enemies, which is also known as competitors. Whatever is going on for you in terms of this consciousness shift, that's going to be what defines you as better, different, or more sparkly than your competition. And it's really, really important that you allow this stuff to build this week and not just get sidetracked, because the material stuff's going to do well anyway. It always will. You're a Capricorn. Working on that inner stuff, right? You're the sea goat after all. The sea, the water energy of the goat, that's the emotions in the inner realm. The goat part of your sign represents the material realm and the success that you know can be yours. This week you get a chance to upgrade the consciousness, to double your manifesting power, let's put it that way. And what this means is the material stuff will take care of itself. Don't get sidetracked here. Right? Do the inner work this week, because that is the stuff that's going to amplify. All right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.